The very first thing I want to talk about is creating the levels for our game using Tiled. Tiled is an open source map editor specially designed for tile-based games. The Quintus framework, which is the JavaScript library that we'll be using in this course, supports the tiled file format, which is a TMX file format. So we can create the levels of our game using tiled and then load those levels in our HTML5 game. Tiled is free and is available for Windows, Mac, and Linux. So no matter in which platform you're on, you'll be able to use Tiled to create the levels. You can download Tiled from mapeditor.org and then just go to download and download the file that corresponds to your operating system. Now let me show you how Tiled works. This is what the final level is going to look like. So as you can see on this side of the screen, you have the actual level. You can zoom in and out using the key Control and your mouse wheel. On this side, you have different layers. So in our game, we're going to have 4 different layers. By clicking on these checkboxes, we can show them and hide them so that you can differentiate what belongs to each one of the layers. The first layer that we'll have is going to be a background, and we'll have a second background just because we want to add some extra decorations. Then we'll have a collision layer, which contains all of the elements that will collide with the player, basically the ground and the walls. Lastly, we'll have a layer of objects which will represent the different entities in our game. I'm talking about enemy types, the actual player that starts here, and you could obviously add any other entities that you want, such as coins, collectibles, or any other thing. Let me show you how to create a new level. You go to New, and you have to define the width and height of the map in terms of number of tiles. So this particular map has a number of tiles, and I'm going to create a small map that's going to have 38 times 38 tiles. Now, the other thing you need to specify is the size of each tile. In this case, the size of each tile is 21 pixels. So this gives me a new map. Now, we need a tile set. A tile set is a file containing many images for each one of the terrain tiles and game elements that you want to have. Where can you find these tile sets if you're not an artist? There's a website called opengameart.org that contains a lot of free tiles that you can use in your games. Now, keep in mind that many of these tiles have specific licenses by their authors that might not allow you to use them in commercial projects, or that might require you to give the artist attribution when you use their tiles or a modified version of their tiles.